morning, students. Yesterday we have learnt the ball poem. I think you have understood that. Now, here we are going to know poetic devices the poet has used in the ball poem. Now, what are poetic devices? These poets, they have a big toolbox in which all these devices are there. They will be using those devices to make the poem really very rhythmic, interesting, melodious, and you know the language, beauty of the language. Okay, now let us know about these poetic devices. Now the first one what we are going to learn is anaphora. Anaphora is nothing but repeating the first word or phrase at the beginning line to achieve an artistic effect. Continuously, 2 lines, you will have the same word or phrase repeated. As in the first 2 lines, what is repeated? What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What? What is he to do? I saw it go. Now here, remember one thing, this lines what in the beginning of that only is anaphora. This is not anaphora. This is repetition. This is different from anaphora. Now, look at that another example. Merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. Again, next 2 lines are also the poet is using the same word, merrily, merrily, which means that is also anaphora. Now, this is what next one, repetition. So the words that are repeated frequently, to make it clear, the idea should be clear and we should remember that. If the words are repeated, the poetic effect will be better. That's what even all the rhymes we do find it. Same word is repeated, right? Here, what is he to do? What is repeated here to intensify the effect? What will the boy do now when he lost his ball? And then balls will be lost always, little boy. Balls or balls. Here the poet wanted to tell maybe 2 things. Balls, or what he is symbolically telling that the balls are the things or the people whom we lose. So balls will be lost always. And ball is the word which is repeated many times in the poem to make us understand, get that rhythmic effect. Now next one is imagery. Imagery means the words and phrases the poet will be using which will make us feel the poem. Now the feeling is not, it will be in all, using all the 5 sense organs. We may, when we are listening to the poem, we may get that picture, visualize that whatever we are seeing. Or if the poet is using what a melodious song, maybe you can feel that song, you will listening to that. And the cold wind is blowing, you can feel the coldness, right? And they were eating such a delicious food. Maybe if they start talking about the mangoes and all that, your mouth also may water sometimes, right? So all the sense organs, the poet will be using few words to trigger these senses. That is imagery. Now here, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. So here we could easily get the visual picture of the ball bouncing down the street and then going into the water. That is the visual imagery. Next, ascendaton, which means unconnected. Now look here, sometimes the poet won't use all the conjunctions or the words which are necessary. He omits them to bring the poem in the way he wanted. Now if you observe that in this poem, the poet used 10 syllables in each line. So that he wanted to balance that. He did not want to add 11 or 12 syllables in the poem. So that is why some words they will lose that. Here they don't use the conjunctions. Here in this line, a dime, another ball is worthless now. So in this line, actually when we are writing that, we will be telling that a dime or another ball is worthless or is deleted here, and that is a poetic license. What is poetic license? Poetic license is nothing but the license what we get. Now you know what is a license. When you want to ride a bike or drive a car, you need license. And when you want to buy a gun for your safety, you need license for that. So these are 2 examples what I am giving you, but to get that you have to go and apply. But This poetic license is free. It means when you start writing a poem, take a paper and pen and start writing a poem. These poetic license, you can use that. So now, friends, Romans, countrymen is what Antony says. They and is missing. Friends, Romans and countrymen. So when you are writing a sentence, my father, my mother and I went to a movie. If you write my father, my mother, I went to a movie, the teacher is going to reduce marks for you because you did not write and there. But same line if you write in the poem, you will be appreciated because you are following the syllables, same syllables in the poem. That is the difference here. Writing in prose and writing a poem. The next poetic device is transferred epithet. Epithet means adjective. Now this adjective is transferred, and that means generally we will be telling that sleepless nights. The nights are not sleepless. We are not able to sleep. So in the same way, here the poet is using another poetic device there, which is called as transferred epithet. It is, he is learning well behind his desperate eyes. Here the eyes are not desperate. The boy is desperate. So here he is expressing his desperateness through his eyes. He expressed it in his eyes. That is why the poet has used here transferred epithet. Next, alliteration. Alliteration, this you all know very well, right? Alliteration, same sound is repeated, which we were discussing from 6th class onwards. So here, no one buys a ball back. Sound is repeated. Next, metaphor. Metaphor is used when a comparison is made between two different things or ideas. Now, if you go to the 8th line, all his young days into the harbor were. So here the young days, the ball was going. When the ball was going, the poet has used the young days. So he was comparing the ball with his young days when he played with that ball. So the poet is comparing the boy's young days or childhood with the ball, the way the ball was merrily bouncing. That's what he was telling about. He lost his, comparing that with the young days. Then the next one is symbolism. So the entire poem, the ball is used symbolically, telling that the things what we lost are the people whom we lost. So when we lose our beloved people or beloved things, we really feel very sad, and it will take some time for us to stand up again and move. So he just took the example of the ball, and he was telling about all the things and all the people whom we lost in our life. But are we not standing up and moving? That's what the poet is telling here. It also symbolizes the things and also the family members whom we love. Now, the next one is rhyming scheme, children. Here the poet did not follow any rhyming scheme. The poet, it is just free rhyme, and 10 syllables. He just followed only that. In each line there were 10 syllables. I think you have understood all the poetic devices and understood the poem and understood the language and the efforts what the poet has taken to make this poem really very beautiful and giving us a wonderful message in this COVID-19 period. Now here is your homework. Write the summary of the poem and then write the poetic devices in your notebook, and then picturize the poem in A4 sheet and show the symbolism in your drawing. That means apart drawing losing the boy playing with the ball and losing the ball and it is going down into the water, apart that the ball, what is that symbolically telling about the things, right? That's what I want you to draw. Children, one more thing. If we were there in the class, I would have asked you one by one, what is the first thing you lost? How did you feel? How did you overcome that kind of feeling, right? I would have asked you, many of you would have stood up and you would have told your experiences. Now, as you can't tell me, you can write that everything on a paper and keep ready. Definitely this COVID-19 period is going to stop and we are all coming back to school, and I will definitely listen to that. But if you write now, the feeling, the effect will be different. So now take your pen and paper and first start writing your experiences. How you felt when you lost something which is really very precious to you. Maybe a thing, maybe people. Anybody is okay. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day.